that they had for many years. Tony Boyle rejoined the Donegal attack after a serious knee injury. Now, they were looking for a big performance too from midfielder Jimmy McGuinness, who would have to make a running in a side ravaged by injury and indeed emigration. Now, Fermanagh, on the other hand, could field a Foods player Paul Brewster in midfield and the Gallagher brothers in their attack. So, could Fermanagh beat Donegal in their own backyard? The BBC's Jimmy Smith and Liam Austin are your commentators.
Referee Des Joyce then gets the last of this year's first round games underway. It's Donegal in the green and orange. They're playing from right to left against the Fermanagh side, so often the underdogs, but this year it's a very different Fermanagh that takes the field. It's Donegal first in attack. It's Brian Roper on the ball. Roper tackled by Justin Gilheany, but gets it into John Gilday. Gilday forcing his way forward, keeps moving. The centre opens up for Gilday. Still John Gilday shoots and puts it to the left and wide, and that could have been a brilliant start for Donegal, and that's a very disappointed John Gilday. Good kick out into the middle of the field, but the referee spotted a hand on the shoulder. Freed for Fermanagh then, taken quickly by Rory Gallagher into his cousin Raymond. Raymond, one step, one tick, and just lifted in Fermanagh support. Brilliant apply by Fermanagh. Fermanagh take the lead thanks to Raymond Gallagher. Good kick by Tony Blake. Broken down again, picked up by John Gilday. Gilday shipped the challenge from Liam McBarron. Gilday thought he had broken away. Stopped first of all by Tony Collins, then brought down by Liam McBarron. McGuinness, a long ball into the corner, goes to Adrian Sweeney. Sweeney holds it up, gives it inside to Gilday. Gilday misses out one midfielder, gives it to the second midfielder. That man is Brian McLaughlin, and McLaughlin brings them level. John McFeely then from Derry Gonley. Into that crowded midfield area it goes. Damien Dever in hot pursuit. Holds it. Looks for someone. Tony Boyle playing his 100th game here today. Getting away. Fouled by Paddy McGuinness and brought down by Paddy McGuinness. Boyle steadies himself. And many times has he done this? Eyeing up the target after a little bit of room, moving Shane Donnelly away. In comes Boyle. Over the top it goes. So Tony Boyle celebrates his 100th game for Donegal by putting them into the lead. McGuinness is on it, but Brewster just took it off his hands. And there's Stephen Maguire. He's looking for the man in the overlap. That man's Gallagher. Before it was the left foot, this time it's the right foot. And that lethal combination which was so potent against Monaghan. Tony Boyle, the full forward, he's outside his own 45-metre line. Keeps possession, but gives it away to Shane King. The Fermanagh defence and Fermanagh forward line are really on their toes. Tony Boyle.
Yeah, he took the leg of Monaghan. It was a justifiable free.
Justin Gilheany fires it in again, breaks away to Gallagher. Gallagher's all on his own. Over the bar of Tony Blake it goes. That was very clever play by Gallagher. Threw the man out, put it over his head, and the man who scored a goal against Monaghan in the opening round of the championship gets another one against Donegal.
And you couldn't ask for a better player to be in that particular position. Great ball, great strength, and great confidence. Brushed away the tackle, and again was able to lob the goalkeeper with a beautiful kick.
McLaughlin, McGuinness again. Another example of a block, beautiful block that time by the goal scorer Gallagher. John Gilday is brought down, that time by Tony Collins. Foul by Tony Collins, which has picked him up a yellow card, and if this keeps going the way it is, I would say there's very little chance of both sides finishing with 15 players.
An Aidan Sweeney point from this free left just 4 points between the sides after 25 minutes. Then just before the break, Fermanagh's Tony Collins was involved in this incident with Donegal's John Gildea. Now, having already been booked early in the first half, the Fermanagh man was automatically sent off, and so the visitors were down to 14 men. So after a tempestuous first half, we rejoin the action now in the second half, with Donegal 3 points in arrears.
Brendan Devaney, faced by Barry Chardy, runs at Chardy, twists, turns, but Chardy sticking to his guns. Good work by the Fermanagh defender, but not even he could do anything about a beautiful strike from Aidan Sweeney. Aidan Sweeney tried to put it over the top. Boyle picked it up, fed it out to the corner forward. Brendan Devaney, the umpires consult, the white flags go up, and with it go the hopes of the Donegal supporters. They're level. There's 15 minutes gone in the second half, and you can almost hear the sighs of relief around Ballybofey.
Yeah, bad mistake in the defence by Fermanagh. And Tony Boyle getting possession, quick release, and a good score by Brendan Devaney.
Shane McDermott is the man who's coming off, and sadly for Fermanagh, the man who's leaving the field is Rory Gallagher, and that is a huge blow for Fermanagh supporters and for Pat King. Donegal keep the pressure on. Tony Boyle collects it, gives it in again, the transfer into Michael Haggerty, and you're now seeing a completely transformed Donegal side. The confidence is flowing and the points are raining over the bar. Clever ball over the top. Tony Boyle holds it, looks for the runner. Brian McLaughlin's there. This is more the Donegal of old. But Fermanagh must take a lot of credit for the way they ran at Donegal. And now the space opens up again. And down goes Sweeney. And it must be a penalty. Has to be a penalty. And when things are going wrong, they really do go wrong. Well, Fermanagh opened the scoring in the second half, but the last 6 points have all gone to Donegal. And now the man at the centre of the picture, the man in his 100th game for Donegal today, has a chance really to put Fermanagh out of sight. Boyle kicks it wide. The goalie didn't have to move at all. The umpire signals wide, and Tony Boyle knows that he had a very clear opportunity to put the seal in this game. Raymond Gallagher, Justin Gilheeney. Here comes Tom Brewster. Brewster kicks high, kicks it over the bar. 1 goal, 10 points for Fermanagh, 13 points Donegal, and the penalty missed by Tony Boyle certainly comes back into the equation. Possession, vitally important. Liam McGuire gets it. Maguire holds possession, gives it to Gallagher. Gallagher feeds out to Shane King. King runs in the challenge. Gallagher again. And the substitute, the man with number 23 in his back, Sean McDermott from St Patrick. Fermanagh need possession. Fermanagh get possession. Fermanagh have beaten Donegal on their home patch of Ballybofey. It's a famous victory for the men from the Erne County. And the Fermanagh supporters, the Fermanagh players are ecstatic here in Ballybofey as Fermanagh go into the Ulster semi-final on a scoreline of Fermanagh 1 goal and 12 points, Donegal 13 points.
This is a terrific day for Fermanagh. I felt we were going to do this all week. I felt that over the last 4 weeks we were going to do this.
Yeah,
and it's, you know, just as that match finished today, it took me back 27 years playing for Tyrone. Donegal were Ulster champions, and we were down to 14 men after 20 minutes, and we won the game that day by 2 points. And it was just reliving it out there. The finish was exactly the same to me.
What does the future hold for Declan Bonner?
I just told the lads that I had my mind made up at the start of this campaign that I was going anyway, like, so it didn't matter how far we went. But I'm disappointed that it had ended, I guess. So it's a chapter closed in my management career anyway.
Well, it looks like the year of upsets in football, doesn't it? Fermanagh now have that tilt with the Ulster champions in a fortnight's time. John, we heard Declan say that he was calling it a day there, but leaving on a note of disappointment, obviously, after all of that.
That's true. It reminds me of myself this time last year with her. Yeah, Declan, I think, has brought the team as far as he possibly could, and as he said there in the clip there, he had his mind made up. And Donegal didn't do themselves justice today. They were in a fantastic position to win the game. Fermanagh reduced to 14 men. Tony Collins rather harshly sent off, I felt, just before half-time. But Fermanagh played particularly well. Like, I mean, we've heard about the Brewsters and we've heard about the Gallaghers, but this is a team effort. Worked exceptionally hard, and they were full value for the victory.
And the big door of opportunity opened for them. This 4-point turnaround, a missed penalty, then the ball went up on a point at the other end of the field. This is a terrible penalty miss.
That's right. We'll see it here in the clip in a second here. But Tony Boyle, like, I mean, you put your house and your wife and kids on Tony putting this away. But unfortunately, he kicked it wide. Now, Donegal had kicked 6 unanswered points at that stage. That, had they scored that, it would have put them 5 points up and game over. Here we see great pressure by Fermanagh. A great interchange between Brewster and Raymond Gallagher, and he kicks a wonderful score, and that's a 4-point swing. Like, I mean, there was no going back for Fermanagh at that stage. They kicked on a wonderful score, a wonderful point after that, and fully deserved the victory, as I say.
Yeah, the house and the wife gone at that stage.
That's true, that's true.
But you mentioned the Brewsters and the Gallaghers and some of the Fermanagh players. In fairness to Fermanagh, they haven't been too far off the last few years. They were unlucky in a couple of games.
There's no doubt about it. Fermanagh have been very, very formidable opposition. Anytime I've ever played against them, be it with Clare or with Mayo, particularly up there, they're very, very strong. I think Pat King has done a wonderful job with them. They're fine defenders, I thought. Like, I mean, when you see Tony Boyle not scoring from play today, now that says something about the quality of your defence. Pulled back, super game. And bear in mind, as I say, that they played the second half completely without Raymond Gallagher, or Rory, I should say, who was injured after 50 minutes in the second half, and down to 14 men. Now, at that stage, everybody up there today felt that Donegal would have won the game. You know, but fair play, great character, great resilience, and as I say, they are formidable. And I tell you, when it comes up in a couple of weeks' time, when they play Armagh, they're in there with a big shot.
It won't be just a shoe-in, yeah. OK, well, there was championship action in football last night as well over in the West. New York made the journey to Tuam to play the